Hello and welcome to the official media launch for the Order of St. Lucia National Awards 2025. My name is Rihani Isidore and I will be moderating today's discussion with committee members, starting with the chair of the National Awards Committee. This is Mrs. Mauricia Thomas Francis, and committee members including Ms. Malika Compton and Dr. Kentry Japierre. To start things off, of course, I will invite the chair to provide us with some opening remarks on investiture or the Order of St. Lucia in the previous year and now.
Thank you very kindly, Riani. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and distinguished Pastor Wardy, members of the media and citizens who are viewing this event virtually, good morning and a very warm welcome to the launch of a new season of the Independence Anniversary Awards Thrust. It is both an honor and a privilege to come before you today as we embark on this important journey aimed at celebrating yet another group of remarkable individuals and organizations that embody the spirit of our nation's independence as required under the National Honors and Awards Act. The National Awards Committee, which was established under the said Act, is concerned with the Order of St. Lucia, which provides for the granting of various categories of awards with established quotas to citizens of St. Lucia, resident and in the diaspora, as well as honorary awards for distinguished, outstanding, or meritorious service or achievement or acts of bravery. Every year around this time, we commence the process of inviting nominations from citizens locally and in the diaspora for review and consideration by the National Awards Committee and subsequent recommendations to the Office of the Prime Minister, who will in turn make his final submissions to the Office of the Acting Governor General. Today, we gather not only to initiate the nomination process for the 2025 Independence Anniversary Awards, but also to reflect on the values that define us as a nation. Those values are courage, resilience, and a commitment to the greater good. This award is a testament to those who have dedicated their lives to serving our communities, advocating for justice, and inspiring change. The National Independence Award is not merely a recognition of individual achievement, it is a celebration of the collective spirit that drives us forward. Each nominee must represent a story of perseverance, passion, and a deep-rooted love for our country. As we think of and seek out those who have made a significant impact in your lives and that of our communities, we mean by this the unsung heroes. Let us honor their contributions by putting their names forward. On behalf of the National Awards Committee, I thank you immensely in anticipation of your many submissions. I once again thank the many citizens who have submitted nominations in the past. Without them and without your nominations, we would not have been able to honor so many deserving St. Lucians. I would also like to take this opportunity to express profound gratitude to my committee, who continue to work tirelessly to ensure that the process is fair, transparent, and inclusive. Your dedication to upholding the integrity of these awards is commendable and vital to their success. As we move forward, let us keep in mind the essence of what these awards represent: a celebration of shared history, our aspirations for the future, and the values that unite us as a nation. Thank you for your presence here today and for your commitment to recognizing and celebrating excellence within our community. Together, let us ensure that the outcome of this nomination and selection process demonstrates a true reflection of our nation's spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
All right. So I'll stay with you, Madam Chair, and to the audience listening to your remarks about just the character of the Order of St. Lucia. How do we reach out to the average St. Lucian who may be wondering or thinking that they may not be eligible? Who is eligible? to be, for a nomination?
Every St. Lucian citizen and in the diaspora who have made a sterling contribution to the nation's development will be eligible. But I will invite Dr. Jean-Pierre, who would speak of the various categories and who qualifies, how one qualifies, what's the quota for each category, and what have you. Dr. Jean-Pierre,
So
please. Thank you.
how many categories are there?
Okay, good morning, viewers. We have quite a few categories. There is the St. Lucia Cross. Right? And for the St. Lucia Cross, we have 3 people will be awarded the gold. 2 nationals and 1 national in an honorary capacity. The total number must not surpass 40 surviving awardees in any given year. The St. Lucia Cross is basically given to a person who has rendered distinguished and outstanding service of national importance to St. Lucia. Then there is the St. Lucia Medal of Honor. There's the St. Lucia Medal of Honor Gold, that will be awarded to a person who has rendered eminent service of national importance to St. Lucia. All right? And there is also a second category of people who would receive the St. Lucia Medal of Honor, and these are the Medal of Honor would be given for acts of conspicuous courage in circumstances of extreme peril. You also have a silver class, which will be awarded to a person who has rendered eminent service of national importance to St. Lucia. And it will also be awarded for acts of bravery in hazardous circumstances. There is the St. Lucia Medal of Merit as well, that is going to be awarded to a person who has performed long and meritorious services in the arts, literature, science, or other such fields in St. Lucia. We have as well the St. Lucia Le Piton Medal. And Le Piton medals will be awarded, we have gold, silver, and bronze awards. And those awards are for persons who have performed long and meritorious service to St. Lucia, tending to promote loyal public service, national welfare, or to inculcate and strengthen community spirit. We have as well the St. Lucia National Service Cross. And the St. Lucia National Service Cross will be awarded to an officer of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, not below the rank of Deputy Fire Chief, or an officer of the prison service, not below the rank of Deputy Chief Prison Officer, who has rendered loyal and devoted service beneficial to St. Lucia. We have as well the St. Lucia National Service Medal. And the St. Lucia National Service Medal will be awarded for outstanding and meritorious service to members of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, the St. Lucia Fire Service, the St. Lucia Prison Service, and commissioned officers of the Cadet Corps. So these are the various awards that are going to be, the various awards and the various classes
they seem to cover a wide cross-section of our society. But Malika, I go to you. We're listening to the awards about national duty, national service. What if someone did something wonderful, great in their community? Are they still eligible?
Yes, they are. So as mentioned, we have the Le Piton Medal. Speaking about community spirit, so that person will be eligible for that particular award.
Yeah. So how, and staying on the nomination process procedure, what if I were to have done something? Can I nominate myself, or can I ask someone to nominate me? How does it work? Who goes ahead doing the nomination? Malika.
Okay, so you could ask someone to nominate you if you felt that you're deserving of that award. But most of the times, you know, it's persons who recognize that you're an unsung hero or you are deserving of that national recognition. You know, it's even nicer when it's a surprise. But of course, you know, some persons among us daily and we do not appreciate what they do. So if you see yourself as suitable, of course, you could perhaps ask someone to do so.
Nominate. Madam Chair, nominations come in every year around this time, scores of nominations. How does your committee sift? How can the public be assured that your committee sifts through these nominations and ensure that those who are eligible are at least given the attention?
Riani, the committee was specifically selected and carefully selected among, you know, persons who have demonstrated fairness, persons who are of integrity, high levels of integrity. And we employ a process which is very fair, very objective. And you know, there is the criteria that we must follow to ensure that we select the best and select those who fit the criteria. I will say to you that historically we've received numerous submissions, and sometimes it's a very difficult job to select the best because some of them are just so good. And we are constrained by quotas, as you heard from Dr. Japierre. The merit is 3 in each silver and gold. Then you have the L'Epitors, 3 in each category. So it is really very, very difficult at times, but we employ objectivity, like I said, fairness. And if we reach a situation where we need to put a nomination to a vote, we do so. So there's a democratic process in selecting. So far we have not had any issues. So we will continue in that vein.
All right.
Thank you.
I guess we need to make declare the nomination period open. So if we can explain to the public when the nomination period opens and when it closes, please.
Okay, the nomination process, this launch signifies the opening of the nomination process. Today, 30th of October, we open the process and nominations can be submitted until the 20th of December, which is the deadline.
20th of December.
20th of December.
Deadline.
That is correct.
Who receives the nominations, Dr. Japierre?
Okay.
Or Malaika, sorry. Go
Okay,
ahead.
no problem. So our secretary, so persons can send a sealed envelope addressed to the Secretary, National Awards Committee, care of the Office of the Prime Minister at the Graham Louisi Administrative Building, Waterfront, Castries, or to her via email, emam.louis@govt.lc. So it's emam.louis@govt.lc.
So it doesn't have to be physically dropped off. It can be emailed. We're in
Yes.
2024 after
Yes,
all, right?
yes.
That's very convenient. I hear Prime Minister, I heard Governor General. Are they involved in selecting recipients? Yeah.
The process is the committee request nominations. Upon receipt of those nominations, we sit, we adjudicate, and we select. Our selections are recommended to the Prime Minister, who of course will review, and once he's comfortable with what we have recommended, then he forwards to the Governor General, where the process will commence in terms of the investiture and honoring the honorees 2 weeks after independence, which is normally the time that this is done.
So it's really up to the governor, the Office of the Governor General, to make the final decision. Is that?
Yes,
right
but by the
understanding?
time the Prime Minister received the nominations, if I may say so myself, I think the committee is competent enough to make good recommendations. Then most times the process is seamless and the Prime Minister transfers the information to the Governor General, where the process, like I said, commences in terms of preparing for the investiture ceremony.
Your committee members, how do we sort of find the time, right? Because I would imagine that committee members are gainfully employed. They have their day-to-day runnings. So is there some sort of special arrangements for the committee to go through? these nominations?
Indeed, committee members are busy, but it's of course country service above self, national service above self. So we do make the time to meet, even if it means working overtime, working on the weekend to make it happen for country. We do just that. And I think it's important for us to give the public a sense as to who the committee members are so they can enjoy some level of comfort. We have Malaika Compton, who is representing the opposition.
Right.
We have Sharon Ephraim, who's representing the government. We have Dr. Kentry Jean-Pierre, who is serving in an ex officio capacity as chair of
The
Public Service Commission. We also have the Commissioner of Police, who regrettably couldn't be here today. He serves on the committee as well.
Dr. King.
And Mr. King, Wilbert King, who is really also representing the public, the general public, on the committee.
Before we get to the
Madam Secretary, sorry, how can I forget Madam
Yes.
Secretary, who's doing a fantastic job for us, Miss Imam Louis. Yes, she's the secretary of the committee. So these are the people, and you can appreciate that these are all people of integrity, and yours truly, of course, humbly, as chair, you know, try to keep things together and make sure we deliver on the promise and the commitment we made to the Governor General to serve our nation well.
It's intriguing that there are representatives of both political parties on the committee as well. That's an interesting arrangement. But ex officio, what exactly would the role of the ex officio chair of the Public Service Commission play in all of this?
Well, I suppose one of the things that we must recognize is the fact that particularly public servants, teachers, in fact, public servants generally are being recognized, during the investiture. So it is all part of having that kind of representation that would, where you represent the interest of the public, of the public servants generally.
So this question to you, Malaika Compton: how does one submit a winning nomination? You want to ensure that that nomination form makes it all the way, and that individual gets that pin on their chest.
So very critical question, Riani. So over the years, we have received some great nominations for deserving citizens, which unfortunately we had to disqualify because of the incompleteness of the submission. So we're asking all nominations must be made on the prescribed form, and all submissions must provide justification for the award proposed and must bear the name and the signature of the individual making the submission. A lot of the times, persons forget to include the name and the signature of whoever is making the submission. So please do so. So both the name and signature must be legible. Nomination forms must be completed in their entirety. Remember, our deadline date is Friday, December 20th, 2024. Nominations received after that date will not be considered. In stating the justification for the award, statement of service rendered must be provided to reflect full details of national interest performed by the nominee, and in your opinion, the quality of that performance. All facts must be stated clearly and concisely. State whether the service was performed in or outside of St. Lucia, and whether the nominee has ever been rewarded or recognized for any of them previously. If applicable, the names and addresses of any beneficiaries must be provided. Note that simply providing a curriculum vitae is not sufficient. Nominations submitted without the statement of services rendered will not be considered. We look forward to receiving nominations from all communities and to once again make recommendations for honoring our unsung heroes. We thank you immensely in anticipation, and remember again, the deadline for submission is Friday, 20th December 2024.
Let me just throw something out there. As human beings filling out these nomination forms, what if there's something that's missing? Would the committee reach out and say, well, can you finish this part? Can you take care of this omitted area? Is that something that you can do?
That's not the role of the committee, because could you imagine if 5-6 people omit critical information on the form, and we have to try and find each person to complete that. That is why we're going out of our way to ensure we sensitize and educate the public on how to submit a winning nomination. So all we require is completeness in the process. I just want to take this opportunity also to remind the general public that submissions made previously that were not considered, they have an opportunity to resubmit, because sometimes the nominations are quite good. However, because of the quota constraints, we're not able to consider. So we're asking them to resubmit, because there are some good ones that we received, like I said, and because of the quota, we could not have considered.
Very generous.
So we look forward to receiving
very generous and very thorough.
Those resubmissions.
Yes.
Yes,
I want to turn our attention to some past recipients joining this discussion, Mrs. Sonia Sifle and Fernanda Henry. All right. Just want to get some of your reaction in the last 12 months since you guys received your awards. Let's start with Mrs. Sifle. Mrs. Sifle, pick up the microphone and tell us, were you aware that you were nominated initially?
Well, I was not aware initially. However, when I got the correspondence, I actually thought, like I said, I went through a range of emotions. Number one, you had to reflect and say, if your peers or your organizations, they thought so highly of you, they felt that you were deserving of such an award, maybe I really was, right? Because for me, it was doing something that I liked to do, something that I was doing for years. And it was something that was really dear to me. So I really, again, felt thankful, felt that there it is that I was able to be part of a community that recognizes the hard work of its members and supports them, and like I said, would put them up for such an award.
Okay.
So within the other, you asked me within the past year, what it is that you would find that people would still tell you, although you get a lot of it on the day, congratulations, well deserved, etc. But you'd meet people and they would say, oh, I saw you got an award for the work that you did for culture and the arts, right? And all it does, it really validates the nomination, you actually getting that award. So I then feel now a sense of pride that I've actually contributed to our community, and it's been recognized by persons that really and truly you did something good.
Okay, and if I may turn our attention to Miss Henry, the science fraternity, the forensics fraternity specifically, to my young memory, I don't know them to receive those kinds of awards. Would you consider yourself a standout, in the context of the award?
Absolutely. When I opened the letter and I read it, there was complete disbelief. I thought that there must have been some mistake. I didn't think that I was deserving of the award, because I felt that there was so much more, that I needed to do to bring forensic science to the fore, especially in St. Lucia. I think most people are aware that we have a forensic lab, but most people think the lab is closed, it's not functional, they're not doing anything there. And over the last 7 years, as I've been the director of the lab, it's really been my purpose to not only to serve the cause of justice, but also to bring forensic science to the people so that they can understand that this is really their contribution. The forensic lab exists because of taxpayers' contributions. So it's important for us to demonstrate to the public that our service is for them, to them, to achieving justice, to telling the story through objective science, and to bring that to a courtroom where people are making decisions about someone's innocence or guilt, which could ultimately affect their life or determine their death, so to speak. So for us, it was definitely a ceiling breaking moment. And I say us because I felt that as I stood there that day, that my entire team should have been there with me, because I know that we all work tirelessly towards that cause of justice that we execute through science. So it was absolutely, a proud moment for me to represent the St. Lucia Forensic Science Laboratory and science in general in St. Lucia, since I hope more people get inspired by the science and what it can do, to contribute towards our economic and social development.
Thank you very much, Ms. Henry. And just to wrap up, I mean, we have recipients who represent the science field and the culture and arts, but just a reminder to the general public, committee members, it's not confined to those two disciplines, right? The public service can be, members of the public service are eligible, and members of the general public, right?
Absolutely.
Many different categories, right? Mr. Japia, I think you went through some of those.
Yeah, well, I just want to say that during the next few weeks, we will be undertaking a countrywide sensitization via the various media houses, the religious houses, and so on, to promote this season's nomination first, more or less, So we urge people, to think of the peers, the people that they are involved with on a daily basis, and that we look forward to receiving nominations from them, so that we could in fact review and select winners for due recognition during this 2025 independence celebrations.
And just, can you remind the public, Madam Chair, when exactly will the ceremony take place next year?
Yes, actually, on Independence Day, the winners will be announced. It's usually done at the parade, the Independence Parade. So, and then subsequently to that, the investiture ceremony usually happens within 2 weeks thereafter. Within 2 weeks.
Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank past recipients for joining us. I want to thank the esteemed committee members for elucidating the public on what to expect and how to go about nominating your peers, your colleagues for awards. Just a reminder, the nominations start, or the period opens today, October 30th, and will close officially on December 20th. So panel, guests, once again, thank you. Public, start filling out those nomination forms.
Thank you very
Thank you.
kindly. Thank you.
Much.
Thank you.